Hey guys, it's Mad Static, and with the exception of Demon Souls, I've played, beat, and loved all of the Souls games. Dark Souls 1's more innovative and experimental moments bring out some of the series' highest highs and lowest lows. Dark Souls 2 is brimming with these vibrant, dreamlike environments that distract me from its unfair design and mechanics just not working. Dark Souls 3 serves as the climax of the trilogy, with the most consistently high quality of all three, and Bloodborne twists the formula and pumps the shit up to 11. And then there's Sekiro. Let's take it back first. It's summer 2015 and I just started the series with Dark Souls 2, which probably explains why I love this game unconditionally. I picked it up for the same reason most people did. I heard it was hard and wanted to prove my gamer skills. So I popped the game in and wow, I can still remember my very first experience with the game. I got sat on by a hippo. This shit was different. I had no idea where to do or what to go. Nothing was being explained or made sense. Everyone sounded like a fucking weirdo. My health was in half. My face was fucked up. My sword was a piece of shit. And, oh yeah, I kept dying! Eventually, I just gave up. I decided that I could probably beat it if I wanted to, but it was hard and confusing just for the sake of being hard and confusing, and overall, wasn't fun. Skip to a few months before the third game comes out, and I've decided to give the game another shake. Except this time, I figured out how online works. The game was so fun with other people as they carried me through this hellhole, and eventually, through watching them, I myself got better. I beat the game. I learned its bullshit. I beat the other two games, and then I beat them again. I met and worked with people. I beat and killed a lot more, and I learned the levels and the bosses to a note. I had become a quote-unquote pro gamer, end quote. But then there was Bloodborne. Look, first thing I had against this game was the steampunk and gothic design, both of which I have never really cared for. Environments felt really similar, but also really confusing in aesthetic and structure, and not in the connected and intertwined kind of way, but more in a dull and boring sense. And then there was the actual gameplay, which I thought was really lacking variety. I missed the hundreds of weapons that I never used, not to mention most of the bosses were either large beast-like creatures, repetitive-feeling hunters, or something worse. I was at about the last third of the game, when all of this led to me genuinely believing that I just didn't like the game. It wasn't clicking for me, but I still saw the value, so I kept heading back in. For 3 years, I went back and forth trying to like this game, but nothing was working. And then, out of nowhere last year, something just snapped. Wait a minute! They got Lovecraft shit in this game?! I like that. I found a fit with the gas guy's coat and a longsword, and while I still don't like most of the bosses in this game, you still got Ludwig, Maria, the orphan, and a select few from the main game that I still love. You see, the biggest barrier to entry for these games isn't the actual difficulty, but the adjust. You go from any other game to one of these and it's going to be a different feeling. There's a rhythm to this, and you're going to have to get used to things being less about numbers, stats, objectives, direction, and proper explanations, and more about timing, reaction, caution, and just kind of figuring shit out. But even when you switch from one of these games to another, the feeling may be the same, but you'll have to adjust to a new pace. You can be great at Dark Souls 2, but with Bloodborne's raging nightmares, you won't have a chance to be defensive or take your time. Likewise, if you're coming from Bloodborne, going in aggressive and headstrong is going to get you killed in the face of Dark Souls 2's kind of bullshit odds. I've hated and come to love every single one of these games at some point, which is what I need you to understand before I can talk about Sekiro, which I have not beat yet. With all that said, let me talk about it. Sekiro can suck a dick! Look, I said I came to like the games. That doesn't mean I was wrong for hating them. I'm pretty sure every complaint I've ever had about Dark Souls 2 is accurate. I know I've been talking shit about you, but I love you. But with Sekiro? Yeah, I got problems. First of all, the setting. Feudal Japan? Really? Where everything is either a castle or a forest? I hate trees, and everything feels exactly the same. Plus, we already have Neo. Look at Boreal Valley from Dark Souls 2. Now that's how you do winter right. Or Shrine of Amana from Dark Souls 2. I wholeheartedly despise this place, but at least it's pretty. Then, you got the gameplay. Now, granted, moving around is actually pretty fun. But then, there's the combat. So, what they did was actually pretty smart. Remember parrying? That thing that literally no one in the world was good at? Yeah, so they took that and then they made it the whole game. What I think they were trying to do was take the more defensive style of Dark Souls and combine it with the aggressiveness of Bloodborne, taking away stamina and trying to make you parry as much as possible to break an enemy's posture, which is a pretty admirable goal on behalf of the developers. So, yeah, it was cool doing that. Or, you know, they could have stopped being fucking extra and just picked one! Now, there's a stealth aspect to this game that conflicts me. On one hand, I like when stealth in a game is creative, tactical, and challenging, which Sekiro is not. The AI only has like 2 fucking brain cells, and this makes it way too easy. But, on the other hand, it's the only time where I feel good at this game, so I'll let it slide. Now, we are at the C problem, and by far my biggest, which is just how discouraging it is dying and trying in this game. You see, in Dark Souls they have the perfect death system set up, where if you died you had one chance to go back, prove that you learned from the experience, and get your money. And this created so many different things you had to think about with every step you took, like where's the next bonfire? Do I save up and risk losing it, or spend it now? What if an enemy or a boss comes out of nowhere? But here if you die, your stuff just gets cut in half. No chance to get it back or anything, just cut in half. You've got Unseen Aid. Yay. But I'm still pretty sure I'm behind on something because I've lost so much money. Not to mention you've got the Dragon Rot system, which is a direct punishment for dying. Losing blood vials was kind of a punishment in Bloodborne, but if you spend some time farming you could kind of negate it. This system causes some of the NPCs to get sick, and you know, actually I don't like most of the NPCs anyways, but still! People say it's only supposed to happen if you keep resurrecting and dying, but during this one boss I didn't res once, and someone still got it. Speaking of bosses, there's one around every damn corner with some crazy ass ability, and it really managed to get me down, because every time I thought I was improving by beating one I'd been fighting for hours and hours, I'd just run into another one who'd knock me back to the reality that I was shit at the game! Even when I parry correctly, or when I still feel like I'm not doing something right, and nothing's working, and everyone keeps saying this game's easier once you get the hang of it, but it's a piece of shit! No, actually, it's not that bad. If you played the last Star Wars game, it's actually a lot like that. This game looks outstanding most of the time. The time period is always interesting to take in, and I love how they blend the snow and cold so seamlessly in there. And wow, look at those trees. They're pretty nice. Maneuvering and moving around has never felt so fluid and fun in one of these games. Each new skill is exciting, and hell, you can come back to life and try a second time. You know what? This game is pretty damn good. Huh? Nah, nigga, fuck this game.